I'm going to take a painting that I created and I'm going to use it to make this decorative flower border. I photographed it with my cell phone and sent it to myself, and I'm now rotating it, and I'm going to now select the black background, and I'm going to just go select color range, shadows, edit, fill with black. And then I'm going to do select inverse, and I'm going to take a black paintbrush and I'm going to hit all those spots that weren't selected before. I'm just going around with a black paintbrush. And then I'm going to deselect, and I'm going to select again the shadows. And then I'm going to do select inverse, which is going to select the rest of the picture that's not the black background. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it and paste it, and then I'm going to do edit, fill, black, and it's going to just turn the entire design black. I'm going to hide the original, so now I just have my my flowers and they're in black. And now I'm going to take my Wacom tablet, and I'm going to take the brush tool, and I'm going to use a black paintbrush, and I'm going to fix up any little bits of the design that I'm not happy with. I'm going to go around the edges of the flowers and paint them in a little more neatly. I'm going to maybe define the leaves a little better. I'm just tweaking it a little bit. Now, it isn't perfect looking, but it does have kind of a nifty look to it. It almost looks like an old-fashioned woodblock print, the way it's a little bit patchy. So I don't want to completely get rid of that rough look entirely. I'm just looking to clean the design up a little bit. So I'm going around the edges. I'm erasing little bits that I don't like. I'm drawing in areas that I feel are missing, just cleaning it up a little bit, but not making it totally perfect. And when I'm done, I'm going to take the magnetic or the magic lasso tool, and I'm just going to draw right around the outside edge of the design, and then I'm going to do select inverse and then edit cut, and that'll get rid of any little stray black spots that are not really part of the original design. And when I'm done doing that, then I'm going to use the magic lasso again, and I'm going to draw around the outside edge of the design. I'm going to do edit, copy, and then I'm going to open up Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to do File New in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to click for print, which will give me a nice high resolution image. And once I've opened up my print document, I'm going to do edit, paste, and then I'm going to go object, image, trace. In this case, my design was a little bit too big to go into Photoshop, so I'm resizing it, and I'm going to reselect it, edit, copy, edit, paste, object, image, trace, and then copy, and then I'm going to paste it right back into Photoshop. And that traced image is going to be a little bit cleaner looking than the other one. When you're done, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to select color range, and you're going to hit highlights and then edit, cut, and that'll cut all the white parts out of your design. And then you're going to hide the other layers, so you just have the now your design that you pasted from Illustrator, and that's what you're going to be using to create your border pattern. So you're going to use the lasso, draw around the design, edit, copy, and then you're going to create a new document for print. So it's going to be 300 pixels per square inch. You paste it in there, and you're going to resize it. It should be an 8.5 by 11 document. And once you've resized it, you're going to then rotate it and duplicate it so that you have a pattern. So right now I'm just trying to create a repeating pattern, and what I quickly realize is that it actually would look really cool if the pattern were of the flowers was in each corner. So I'm going to rotate the pattern, and I'm going to put it in the corner, and then I'm going to copy the layer, and I'm going to flip horizontal and put it in the opposite corner. So just making a mirror image of it and pasting it down so it's in the opposite corner. I'll do that for all 4 corners, and then I have to worry about what's going on the edges of the paper, and I'm going to play around with that a little bit, as you'll see. The trick with borders is they have to be pretty much perfectly symmetrically balanced, or they're going to be distracting. So I was playing around with maybe a serpentine, almost like a slithering snake design. I did almost like a lace design. I played around with a lot of things. I didn't like a lot of them much. So you're going to just see me experimenting, resizing, duplicating, copying, pasting. But whatever you do, just make sure whatever you do on the left side, you do on the right-hand side so that the entire thing has a symmetrically balanced look. Again, I wasn't in love with this pattern, so I ended up changing it. Now, I'm always telling you that when you transform something for scale, you always hit the Shift key so you keep the aspect ratio the same. Well, what if you don't want the aspect ratio to be the same? What if you want to change the scale but push and pull one side of it and warp it? This is what happened when I didn't hit the Shift key, is I was able to stretch out the design and squish it on the sides and distort it a little bit. And I actually ended up liking that better, so I tried that, and I still wasn't 100% in love with the design. And that's when I got the idea of taking my original design and pushing and pulling and squishing it and using it to create a slightly altered decorative border. So as you can see, I'm stretching it out now, I'm squishing it, I'm rotating it, and I think it'll look very nice along the top in between the corners. And then, of course, because it has to be symmetrically balanced, once I create that design, I have to then duplicate it and make one on the bottom. So I'm playing around again with the borders, making a duplicate. I combine the 3 layers, and I'm just copying it and then flipping it vertical. There, it gives me my bottom, and I still need to play around with the sides. So I'm going to unhide some of those other layers and look at what I have there to see if there's anything usable. And I'm playing around again with the sort of lace pattern I created before. I wasn't thrilled with that. Let's see what else I can find. I sort of like maybe just taking one part of the lace design and stretching it out, playing around with that. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to transform it and hit scale, and I'm just going to stretch it out. And that ended up being actually a design that I thought I wanted to go with. It kind of reminds me of an Art Nouveau pattern. So again, whatever you do on one side, you have to duplicate and do on the other side. And now I have a pattern that I really like, and a decorative border that has that nice Art Nouveau look, and I'm really happy with. This is Rachel Winneberg, the Helpful Art Teacher, with another Art Tech tutorial.